Hello and welcome to Sports This Morning. I'm Cecilia Omogbe.
I am Taya Salam. It's always great to have you join us again. The show, this is what it looks like. The UEFA Champions League round of 16 draw was done yesterday, and the standout tie is between PSG and Barcelona, aka Messi Neymar reunion.
That's what it's all about, because you're going to be having Messi and Neymar facing each other for the first time since Messi actually Neymar moved to PSG. Messi, is he going to go to PSG?
Yeah,
something especially, I don't understand.
Last week, Neymar was on record saying he wants to play with Messi again. But guess what? They're playing against each other. Not the kind of reunion he wanted, at all. It's still some sort of reunion. And
I hope he recovers. Okay, it's obviously going to recover before that time, and hopefully no other injury, because that's just a sprain on his ankle. Also on the program, more tributes are pouring in for Gerard Houllier. He died yesterday at the age of 73. Former Liverpool player, former Liverpool manager. I mean, more like a legend. They practically rebuilt Liverpool from a Premier League underachievers to a cup-winning treble side, especially in 2001. That's what most Liverpool fans and players will always remember him for, what he did in that year.
Yes, Gerard Houllier, very, very sad news yesterday, passing away at the age of 73. Of course, loads of tributes are coming in from ex-players and ex-teammates as well. We'll be talking about that later on the show. Let's move on to the NBA now, where this Nigerian guy has done it again. Isaac Okoro, number 5 overall draft pick, was in action early this morning against Indiana Pacers, and it's safe to say he shone like a million stars again.
Yeah, of course, how do you do that with 15 points, just dropping it on, and 2 rebounds and 4 assists?
Incredible stuff.
Okay,
we'll come to Isaac shortly, but before we talk about Isaac and the other Nigerian guys in the NBA, let's take a look at the preseason games results from late last night to early this morning. All the teams are getting ready for tip-off, which is going to be on December the 2nd. So they've been playing games to fine-tune preparations for the season. Games played last night / this morning. Results on the screen: the Pacers losing against the Cleveland Cavaliers for the second time in 48 hours. Isaac Okoro played a very prominent role in that victory for the Cavs. Elsewhere, it was the Pelicans defeating the Miami Heat 114-92. A couple of other Nigerians were in action for Miami. We'll be talking about one specifically later on the show. The Grizzlies 123-104 over the Timberwolves. The Raptors 112-109 over the New Orleans Hornets. The Mavs 128-112 over the Milwaukee Bucks. And last but not the least, the Phoenix Suns lost against the Utah Jazz 92-111. All right then, let's focus on our guy now. Obviously. The Pacers and the Cavs. Isaac Okoro, Cecilia, what a player. He's taken to the NBA like a duck to water. I mean, usually as a rookie, you go into a season, you're a bit cowed and preseason, right? You go into preseason season. It's because you're a rookie. It might take you a while to settle, because you're playing with the big boys now. You're the big time now. It's different from college, and it might take you a while to settle. But not this guy. Like I said, barely 48 hours after scoring the winning point against Indiana. That was on Sunday morning. He's gone on to do it again to show that it was no fluke. 15 points on the night for the 19-year-old.
Yeah, 15 points, 2 rebounds, and also 4 assists. Remember, he was drafted 5th overall, in the NBA. As you mentioned earlier, usually when these guys are going into games, they just want to take their time. But he's just gone in and see if he fitted right there.
Like he's been there all his life.
He's been there all his life, and all that, into the Cavs team. And what a wonderful way to really start. I mean, the way he was able to work his way through and all that, just giving them all the points. You also have, Victor Oladipo, was on the other side of the Pacers and all that. Yeah, he got some few points in. But then the talk was all about this youngster, 19-year-old Isaac Okoro on the night.
Yeah, proper Niger boy as well, too. 4 of 7 field goals on the night, 6 of 10 from the free throw line. So that just tells you he's a very aggressive shooting guard, and he's going to go to the basket a lot. And when you go there and you get fouled, there's an opportunity for you to go and get the freebies. And it was just 6 of 10, so perhaps still need to work on that. 6 of 10 is not It's not bad, but it could be better.
Good. It's
I mean,
decent.
you could go 10 of 10. Why not?
Okay. We're talking about a 19-year-old who just got drafted, going to the NBA and playing pre-season games. Tayo, just cut him some slack. We know he's going to get better.
I agree.
Of course.
I agree.
All right, let's move on to another Nigerian basketball player that is doing so well. I mean, the Port Harcourt boy.
Started so well.
I mean, started so well and all that. They are in their game, of course. They lost, you know, but then he also shone on the night. He had 8 points, 2 rebounds, 1 steal, and also a block. I'm talking about Precious Achowan, 20th overall pick for the Heat. The Heat lost on the night, but then he is actually learning so much from his older teammates. You have Bam Adebayo there. And, of course, you also have the big boy. I mean, talking about the guy who is actually carrying them all along. You know who I'm talking about.
Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler.
Right.
You know, he's learning a whole lot from this guy, especially when it comes to defensively and all that. You could see, you know, he was well guarded. I mean, but he, despite all, he was able to get on the getting all the boards. I mean, everything. I mean, got 1 steal, got 1 block, 2 rebounds, and 8 assists on the night. Let's just listen to him talking about, you know, how much he's actually putting in to ensure that he's better than he is right now. All right, that's him right there, just talking about how much he's learning so much, especially when it comes to defense and all. He's doing a whole lot. I mean, these guys, when they start, you're like, where are they going to go to? Somehow. I mean, all the way from Port Harcourt, went to the US, got to college and all that, and then got drafted. You know, first round pick, 20th overall. Good one for Precious.
Yeah, 20th pick, not lottery pick, but a lot is still expected from him. Precious and the older teammates that I talked about, Udonis Aslem, Jimmy Butler, even Bam Bam is not exactly old, but we know he's a superstar, all-star in the NBA at the stage of his career. And they've had some very interesting things to say about, let's call it testimonies, about Precious Achiuwa. Let's start with Udonis Aslem. Cecilia, Udonis has been in the league for a long, long time, and this is what I had to say about Precious Achiuwa. He says that I see so much of Bam Adebayo in Precious when Bam first came here. Super athletic, works hard, plays hard. Precious got a little more skill than Bam had when he first came. And shoots a little better as well. So what about Bam? Does Bam agree with Udonis? Okay, this is what Bam has to say. Cecilia.
Yeah, and then Bam is actually talking about, let's go to, you know,
let's
Bam
go to
now.
Bam.
Yeah. What Bam... Let's go to Bam now.
Let's go to Bam Adebayo now, what he has to say about Precious Achiuwa. He says, I feel like his rookie year is going to be better than mine, me being honest. I feel like he has more skill than I did coming into my rookie year. And it's going to be fun to work with Precious.
Yeah. So working with him, so he actually agreed with him.
He agrees.
So it simply means Precious
That's
is just...
a lot of pressure,
I mean, do you understand? I mean, someone actually comparing you already to Bam, and Bam will know how.
That you're better than him in his rookie year. That's a lot of pressure on Precious.
Okay, all right.
We'll see, hopefully.
So much. I hope he can, you know, no, Niger boy, when you grew up in Nigeria and then go to the US, you understand the roads you must have passed through and all that. So mentally, I think he should be able to handle it. Yeah, I think he can. All right, let's leave basketball and talk rugby cricket this morning. What's happening to Nigerian team? You know, the International Federation have actually confirmed the tournament that they will be playing in, you know, next year, 2021. We know 2020, coronavirus happened, and so most of the events just did not hold. But then the Nigeria Cricket Federation actually confirms that, well, key competitions for 2021, that's at the international level. And the International Cricket Council, the umbrella body for the sport, confirmed that Nigeria will be participating in some of these events. They include the ICC Women's T20 World Cup in 2023 that will be hosted in South Africa. Of course, the women's team currently ranked 41st, you know, in the world and all that. So it's a good one and a good way to start. But we will not be talking about this all alone. We have Austin Okonakman joining us from London this morning. He failed to meet up with Anthony Joshua stuff because we wanted to just talk about Anthony Joshua with him yesterday. But, well, something happened. But we're going to have another chance now. But we're going to be talking about, well, cricket, Austin, this morning. Austin, good morning. It's good to have you join us.
Good morning, Cecilia. Good morning, Tayo. Sport greetings to our viewers from all over the world. It's always a delight to be on the show. And Cecilia, you had to drag me out for yesterday.
Of course, yeah. Because I just wanted to ask you one question. It was just one question. I mean, that punch, I mean, 3 uppercuts at the same time consecutively. I'm like, I was amazed. Why didn't the guy just fall down and like, okay, round 3, I'm done? But he didn't. He stood up and continued fighting until the 9th round. No more of him.
Well,
Maybe he's going to retire at the end of the day.
That's what it means not to give up. When you fall, you get up again. So let's give a shout out to Pule for trying to be brave. But the better man won.
Of course.
Of course, I mean.
All day, all night long. All right, let's get back to cricket. Austin.
Yeah, of course. Talking about Nigeria's participation in international competition next year. I mean, COVID, of course, ruled out a whole lot of stuff this year. But next year, obviously, is going to be very bright for the women's team and also for the men's team.
Beautiful. Beautiful story coming out of cricket in Nigeria. Tayo, Cecilia, this is a testament of hard work. This is a testament of putting the right people in the right places. That's the story of cricket in Nigeria. I've tagged them the Talk and Do Federation. The Nigeria Cricket Federation, led by passionate and purpose-driven individuals, from the president, Adam Konya, to the vice president, Akpata, to the athlete representative in Nigeria's Ofem, was the former captain of the cricket team, tells you that they know what they are doing. When I spoke to them about their plans for this year, they said they want to achieve international reputation with cricket. Are they doing that? Yes. And that's why the International Cricket Council has said, look, Nigeria, come and partake in major competitions in 2021. Last year, remember, the ICC, they were part of our infrastructure development plan to develop all the oval at TBS. They've also brought training coaches, training programs for the coaches and some umpires of cricket in Nigeria, which tells you that they see Nigeria as a prospect for the development of the sport in the continent. It gets so fine with women being added into the calendar for 2021. The Nigerian women's cricket team, they've not gotten that chance. Cecilia, I remember you asked the president the other time what they were doing for women's cricket. He said you should wait, that you see it in 2021. They are ranked 41st in the world. And with this T20 competition in South Africa, it's another opportunity for them to prove their quality. And if they do well, they qualify for the World Cup. When you go to the World Cup, even when you don't win, you come out with a lot of valuables. Remember, our under-19 team, they went to the World Cup last year in South Africa. We did not win, but it opened opportunities for us with Sri Lanka, with Australia, with England, with Pakistan. They got to meet countries that were doing so well in cricket and learned valuable lessons from them. I love it so much. Let's see what the Nigeria Cricket Federation will do with this one, because these are some of the things we seek for development.
Austin, indeed, you said it. They have said they want to do it big on the international stage when it comes to cricket. I think they've laid down a marker when they decided to go and appoint a World Cup winner as the coach. His name, Asanka Gurusina, is now the coach of the Nigerian cricket team. Of course, he's also going to serve in other crucial roles as well. So, I mean, that's major. It's a major coup for a country like Nigeria trying to develop their cricket.
Beautiful, Tayo. That's why I said they are Talk and Do Federation. They said at the start of the year that they will appoint a respected cricket coach. They did that. They said they will unveil the man last week. Last week in Abuja, they unveiled him. They said part of your assignment is not just to come and coach the national team. It is to position Nigeria's cricket to be admirable worldwide. So Asanka Gurusina will be part of this entire process. And you don't get a better man. A World Cup winner with Sri Lanka, has also coached the national team of Sri Lanka, has worked as consultant for Cricket Australia. Tayo, if you work for Australia's cricket, then you are certified a champ with cricket. Because when you talk about the top countries of cricket, you mention Australia. So Gurusina will work with the women's team, we work with the men's team, we work for grassroots development, we see where they can take it to the schools. We do all he can in his pedigree because he has got so much quality. And that's 360 degrees branding that we're always talking about. So these cricket guys, I think they know what they're doing. Let's see. It's a gradual movement, Tayo, because some persons will say, oh, they've brought Gurusina, now let them go and win the World Cup. No. Let's remember we abandoned cricket for a long time, and now some people are beginning to retrace where they lost it to find it again, to give cricket a voice in Nigeria.
Yeah, interesting. And the good thing to also note that Nigeria will also be hosting the final round qualifier for Africa in Abuja. That's under 19 preparations for the World Cup. So it's also a good start, not just participating in the competitions, but also hosting Africa in Nigeria, in Abuja. I can't wait for that to really happen. So cricket is growing big and big.
Yeah.
Okay, let's leave.
No, before we leave that means Federation now knows it's not just about going to compete in competitions. They must fix infrastructure. If you're bringing Africa to come to Abuja, you must have the grounds ready. You must have persons taking care of that place that they're going to play cricket. You must have everything in place, including performance. So it's a big task for the Cricket Federation. I love this. And let's just hope that they don't, blow this opportunity.
Yeah, they will just continue in this light because, as you mentioned, you have the people there, the right people there actually running the federation. We'll leave in that, also talking about another federation that is doing so well, table tennis. And this time around, the para table tennis. Last year, they had the maiden edition of the para table tennis championship at the Koya Thomas Hall of the Teslim Balogun Stadium. And this time around, they are also hosting another one. It's starting December 19. That's this weekend. Of course, you're going to be having hundreds of players across the country, in Lagos trying to compete in this championship. You were here for this one last year, and we saw what happened with the para table tennis and all that. With some of them also expected to represent Nigeria at the Tokyo Paralympic Games. They're already in camp just preparing for this. But for these players, trying to go to the Para Olympics, how well would this be for them? I mean, how much are they going to learn from here and also trying to get a ticket for the Olympics? Just 30 seconds if you can before we go on a break.
So this is very good, Cecilia, for them. It will be a good warm-up process before the Paralympics in Tokyo. Last year, I was part of this one, and it gave me an opportunity to feel the power of sports, because when special athletes come together, it's always beautiful to watch them. And our Paralympians, they've done so well. I think about 7 para-table tennis players have already qualified for the Paralympics in Tokyo, and COVID-19 has not given them an opportunity to prepare. So they are looking forward to this one. We have the likes of Ahmed Koliosho, he's a champ, will be part of it. Tajuddin Agumbiade will be part of it. Faith Obazwaze also will be part of this one. Last year, we had para-athletes from Cote d'Ivoire, Ghana, Togo, Morocco, Algeria, South Africa, and about 11 million naira up for grabs. I love the fact that the organizers still maintain the sponsorship, and this is an opportunity for other private organizations to come and support not just para-table tennis, special sports in Nigeria, because when you do that, you give these people a special meaning to life when you host them.
Interesting. Austin, of course, you're still with us on the program. We'll go on a short break. We'll be back after this. Welcome back to the studio. Okay, we still have Austin with us. We also have another guest in the studio. The last time I saw him was in January, right? Onome Appeal of City FM. He's right here. Good morning, Onome. It's good to have you join us again.
Always great to be back here as usual. It's been a very long time. Feels like a full year between my last appearance and this time.
Do you understand? January. And this is December.
Yeah, January. But then it's been a very long year anyway.
I actually missed you during the NBA playoffs.
Very good.
It must be said, injury enforced absence.
At first, and then lockdown in first.
Right, combination of both.
Great to have you join us.
Thank you very much.
Okay, all right. You guys can talk to us on Twitter. I mean, what you think about the UEFA Champions League draw. I mean, usually when these draws are made, you have the big teams, topping their groups. There's different leagues across Europe. But if you take a look at the top 5 leagues in Europe, okay, who's actually topping? The big West, none of them. Real Sociedad, La Liga. Yeah. Then you go to England, Tottenham. Tottenham, who could have thought about that? And of course, then you go to Italy, not Juventus, but rather Milan. So if you go to all the leagues and all that, and just go to France, the last time we had another club actually topping, I can't remember. Usually PSG. It's been a long time, but you got there. Just another one.
So what stopping in June, and that's going to be PSG.
Anyways, I mean, talk to us about the UEFA Champions League. How competitive is this going to be? And of course, who are the favorite team to really win it, looking at the top leagues across Europe? Also, you heard Austin talking about the growth of cricket in Nigeria. Talk to us on cricket in Nigeria, if you're a supporter of cricket in Nigeria, and the growth and what it's actually doing to ensure it's growing big. And Nigerian players, the rookies, the new ones that have been drafted, are doing so well in the preseason. Can they translate that when the NBA season starts December 22nd? These are so many things. You need to talk to us about about this morning. And also people have been talking about Gerard Houllier and all that, what he did for Liverpool. I mean, your tribute can't send that in. So, no, man, let's get straight into the Champions League first. I mean, when you saw the draw, the round of 16 and all that, I mean, the one that gets you talking obviously will be Barcelona PSG, right?
Yeah, obviously. Supposedly giants at this stage, but with the way Barca are this season, depletion in the squad. You look at the lineup, you see Pedri on one side, there's Trincao, there's a Griezmann who is off color. Then you wonder what has happened with this Barca side. And then look behind, it's Longley, who obviously is not an elite defender, Sergio Dest. A whole lot has changed with the Barca team. And then, but it feels like it's a good chance for PSG to go ahead and win this one across 2 legs because they look stronger if you look at both squads. But this is the biggest tie in this round right now.
Okay. Definitely, let's say confirmation of the fixtures are none bigger than PSG, Barcelona, like we talked about already. Of course, there's also other games. You have Leipzig taking on Liverpool, Jurgen Klopp going back to Germany, Barca, PSG. We talked about that already. Let's move on to the other fixtures in the UEFA Champions League round of 16. Porto versus Juventus. I've got a special interest in this one because Zaid Sanusi likely to go up against Cristiano Ronaldo. It'll be very interesting.
He must exchange jersey no matter what happens.
There's also Sevilla taking on Borussia Dortmund. Dortmund with a new manager after the sacking of Verve. Let's go on to the other games. Lazio versus Bayern Munich. I think Bayern would have enough to get the job done against Lazio in this one. And the second, or perhaps arguably, the standout tie of this competition, perhaps the toughest, Atletico Madrid taking on Chelsea. And the coach of Chelsea has come out to say they have the strongest and the toughest draw in the last 16. That's Frank Lampard. Borussia Mönchengladbach versus Manchester City. City again, always getting these draws. How do they do it?
I really can't answer that. I was asking myself the same question yesterday. From the group stage into the round of 16, they always get good fixtures. If it's not Schalke or it's Mönchengladbach, it's funny names or Shakhtar. The problem is they've never been able to make it past the quarterfinal stage since 2016. Okay. And you wonder with all these easy draws, Lyon knocked them out the last time. So with the way Man City always play in Europe, you would think that the small teams will always give them an issue. But Pep knows he has to concentrate on the Champions League this season and this year. The fans want that, at least get to the final. So I guess they're going to take this fixture more seriously than in the past. So they should be able to get past Mönchengladbach easily.
Okay. Anyways, last fixture is Atlanta versus Real Madrid. Real Madrid, yeah, that's a tough one as well. So.
Yeah.
Austin. Okay, let's quickly get your own thoughts on this UEFA Champions League round of 16 fixtures. Neymar reuniting with Messi. Just last week, he was talking about wanting to play with Messi again, but it's going to be playing against him.
Yeah, be careful what you wish for. So, Neymar got what he was talking about. And if you listen to the commentary during the draw, the commentator tagged it an El Clasico. When PSG and Barcelona come together to play football, you expect some fireworks. But I won't be quick as on a man to give it to PSG. Because if you look at PSG in that Group H, they didn't show the sort of quality that you'd expect. They were joint leaders of Group H with Leipzig with 12 points. And Barca, yes, we agree they're struggling. They were able to get 15 points. And this is what forms basis of analysis, what you did
also,
in the
group phase. Who did they play against outside Juventus? Who did they play against outside Juventus? Ferencváros, right?
Ferencváros and Dynamo.
Chelsea. Cecilia, Chelsea didn't lose a game in the group phase, but they were able to get about 13 points. So when you look at football from those angles, when you get to round of 16, the dynamics begin to change because now it's knockout football. Everybody is going to bring everything that they have. So PSG should be careful. They cannot afford to underrate Barcelona's form in any way because Barca is a big team in the UEFA Champions League. It deserves all the respect that they've given to themselves because they've earned it. So it's going to get us talking, no doubt. But I won't just come out and say, oh, it's going to be a straight one for PSG because Barcelona is going to also win it.
The Barca are 5-time champions for a reason. And we understand that they've not been too great this season. There's an opportunity for PSG as well to avenge that soul-crushing loss to Barcelona where they were leading 4-0 from the first leg and they went to the Camp Nou and lost 6-1. Neymar was the architect of that defeat for them, but Neymar is going to be on the side this time around. Austin, let me get the thoughts of Onome on that one.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that is one of the worst defeats in the knockout stages in the history of Champions League, in my opinion. You go for the first leg 4-0 and the second leg 6-1. So, but for Neymar, he's switched side now. He's now with PSG. Yeah. So he knows too well what went wrong that time for PSG and how they shouldn't do that. Most of those players are not really there anymore. Thiago Silva's moved on. Di Maria is still there, by the way. But Neymar will want to avoid that happening. He knows what happened at the other end. But Barca do not have as much ammunition as they did have the last time.
Nope.
You look at the team, it feels like it's only just Messi. Griezmann is just gradually trying to get himself back on the books and into the form we knew him at Atletico Madrid. So this should be an easy game for PSG. But if it is PSG, we've known they always falter when you think they would go on and do well.
Okay. I mean, another game that will get us talking this morning happens to be Atletico Madrid and Chelsea. For everyone, I think that's the toughest draw outside Barcelona, PSG and all that, because, you know, those are more like equal. But when it comes to Champions League, yes, Barcelona ahead and all that. But current form, PSG, of course, will get that. But for Atletico Madrid and Chelsea, now these two clubs are so unpredictable this season. You really don't know what they will come up with. Now, for you, Atletico Madrid, Chelsea, who with this? I mean, which way will it go? Austin?
Atletico Madrid is a team that comes with so much tricks in the UEFA Champions League. But again, I would judge my analysis. Look, in sport, you're as good as your last performance. So if you go to the group phase tells you a lot of story. You know, for instance, you were questioning what Barca did in the group phase. They lost the game. Juve also lost the game. If you look at PSG, they lost 2 games in the group phase. Chelsea didn't lose any match at the group phase, though they didn't give the sort of performance that you'd expect because of the group they are in. But when it gets to the round of 16, Atletico Madrid and Diego Simeone, particularly when you underrate them, if you bring any form of complacency, they will mess you up. So Chelsea cannot afford to give that. And I love the mind games Frank Lampard is already playing, saying that I'm not looking at Barca and PSG. This one is the toughest draw, you know, for me. So that's the right mentality to use to get into such a match. You know, Atletico Madrid, then find form in the league, except just for this last slot that they had. Real Madrid still top the league table. So you don't want to push them away in any way. But I've called down another potential banana skin, and for me, I'll go with Chelsea. There's just something about the technicality of that team that Lampard has put into them that they can just use to get the results when they have to. So it's going to be tough. I hate coming on TV to make predictions.
You can relax until February.
I know, yeah. So, but if you go by what they did in the group phase, I think Chelsea was decent. Atletico Madrid, they were also decent, and both of them have some level of experience in the bag in European football. So they should give us some level of good football. My biggest fear actually is for Liverpool against Leipzig because they cannot afford to blink against Leipzig.
Interesting. There's also Juventus taking on Porto. We said at the start of the show, I'm looking forward to seeing how Zaidu Sanusi is going to fare against Cristiano Ronaldo.
Tayo?
Yes, Austin. So
okay, say that again, please.
Yeah, I was saying another matchup, Nigerian interest, of course, is Juve taking on Porto. I'm looking forward to seeing how Zaidu Sanusi he's going to fare against Cristiano Ronaldo.
I know Zaidu Sanusi. I watched him a couple of times, and I like the progress he makes with every game. Beginning to know when to position himself in that box. I think it was about 2 weeks. He scored a fine goal with a beautiful run. But if we want to go by the books now, we'll just sit off here and say, oh, it's going to be Juve. But football just has a way to tell you, just has a way of telling you to shut up when you're saying those sort of things. FC Porto, in their own right, will come out and play football that they can. But we know it's going to be very difficult against Italian giants, Juve. But I think for me, it will be a good one for football. It will be lovely if we see an upset in that one. I know it's very difficult, but shout out to Zaidu Sanusi. I love everything he's doing with his football at the moment, and it's beautiful for Nigerian football. Let's wish him all the best against Juve because it's going to be tough.
Yeah. It'll be tough again, coming up against Cristiano Ronaldo. Indeed, let's go on to the matchup between Liverpool and Leipzig. You already mentioned that you see perhaps an upset in that one. And Jurgen Klopp going back to Germany. But before you get your thoughts, let's get the thoughts of Liverpool ambassador, Liverpool legend, Ian Rush, after that draw.
They weren't even favourites to qualify. When you look at PSG and Manchester United, they were most probably third favourites of maybe Europa League. But no, they've overcome that. So they'll be saying, if we can overcome Paris, if we can overcome Manchester United, we can overcome Liverpool. Yeah, and that's why Liverpool is, it's going to be a very tough game, but hopefully, we'll be prepared. It's a famous saying, isn't it? The easiest thing is winning it. The hardest thing is retaining it, and that's what it's about. And it doesn't take 11 players to win. It takes a squad of maybe 20, 21, 22 players. And I think Liverpool have been a bit unfortunate this season because they've had a lot of injuries. And but they're still coping. But with the injuries, that means the younger generation has a chance to see what they can do. And a lot of them have done really well. They've come from the academy. They've stepped into the shoes of these, like Van Dijk and Alisson and that, and they've done really well. So I think Liverpool have got a lot to look forward to. But again, everyone wants to beat Liverpool.
Yes, everyone wants to beat Liverpool. Indeed, and Leipzig will get an opportunity in February. And Austin, you heard Ian Rush say he's actually wary of Leipzig as well, just like you said a few seconds ago. Let's take a step down now and talk about the Europa League. This is where, unlike in the Champions League, where you have just one Nigerian, Europa League has got several Nigerians in action in the round of 32. We have selected fixtures for you. Tottenham with Jose will be taking on Wolfsburg of Austria. There's also Real Sociedad taking on Manchester United. David Silva returning to where he made his name really as a legend. Benfica, Arsenal, Slavia Prague versus Leicester, where you have Kelechi Iheanacho Ndidi taking on Kitaola Inka. Dynamo Kiev, Club Brugge, you have David Okereke and Mano Dennis Bonaventure in that one. Antwerp Rangers, Leon Balogun and Joseph Aribo. Salzburg, Villarreal, you have the Nigerian youngster Chukwueze. Napoli, Grenada, hopefully Osimhen will be back for this game against Ramon Aziz and Granada.
So this is a very, very good fixtures. For some teams, you expect them to roll over, like Spurs. I don't think it will be an issue for them against the Austrian opposition, Wolfsberger. For Man United, you thought that when they go down to the Europa League, cut them some slack and maybe an easy tie. But it's Real Sociedad who are doing so well this season, top of the La Liga. Yeah. So it's a very, very tricky tie for them. Some United fans even want them to lose that match and concentrate on the league this time out. But it's a tough one. But I think for me, of all the ties, the ones that might be very, very close for me is the one between Lille and Ajax. I think the French guys did so well in the group stage. I think defeated Milan once away at the San Siro. Yeah. They did so well. They've had their head high this season despite losing Osimhen. But if you look at the Ajax side, who came down from Champions League there, they also have exciting talent right there. So I think though that match will be closer than most of the matches we'll have right there in the round of 32 in the Europa League.
Arsenal, Austin, Benfica Arsenal.
It is a very close tie, but if Arsenal continue their Europa League form, they should win that tie easily.
Austin, easily against Benfica.
It's going to be very tough for Arsenal. Very, very tough. Unless they have a change in their mentality, their approach this season has been so poor. It's just something about Arsenal not giving that confidence you need to see to go on to win. We know Benfica, not just in the Europa League, they're also a big team in Champions League football, so they come with a lot of experience. Onomende just mentioned the experience of Arsenal also in the Europa League. Let's see if they can take it, but they're not just giving that vibe that they want to play football this season. And unless they change that, they will be punished in the Europa League because Benfica is no small team in Portugal, and they come with a lot of experience also. And then if you struggle with some of the teams that we've seen in the English Premier League that Arsenal struggled with, for instance, the Burnley this weekend, then there's no chance. It's going to be tough. Just same thing we're saying for Manchester United. How can you drop to the Europa League and get to the sort of fixture that football can be cruel at times, but I think it's about them saying, okay, guys, the man that is on the ground fears no fall. So how about we get up and then, change the story. That's the story for English teams, Arsenal, Leicester City, and even Manchester United in the Europa League. I still feel an English team will make it to the final, but they need to really prove that they want to play football.
Or maybe Mikel Arteta will decide to use the young squad that have been winning in Europa League in the round of 32. Okay, let's leave Europa League now and quickly go to this one. Tributes pouring in from everywhere, concerning the death of former Liverpool manager and also former France manager Gerard Houllier. Everyone has been talking.
Yeah, it's very sad news.
Talking about
but before we go to Gerard Houllier, a couple of matches will be played tonight.
Okay, just
in the
two
Premier
games,
League. Right? Yeah, let's just get out of the way. Two tough fixtures. Austin Onome. You have Wolves will be in action.
Yeah,
City will be in
Chelsea,
action as well too. Chelsea will be in action. How do you see these games playing out quickly before we go on our next break?
Right, I think
Chelsea.
Wolves have been kind of off color this year, and for them, we thought they were going to be one of those teams right where Southampton are this season, trying to get into the top 4 spot. But it has been very, very poor. 5 wins, 2 draws, and 5 losses so far. Not so good for Chelsea. Off the back of that loss against Everton, meeting Wolves is actually a very, very good time for them. We know Wolves have been quite tricky, but Chelsea always does well against Wolves. Lampard especially, they should be able to go out there and get a win against this stubborn Wolves team away from home.
Especially without their top striker.
Exactly. John Montiel is missing, but Ruben Neves comes in to replace him. Just a 19-year-old guy up front for them, Fabio Silva. They will struggle to get goals today, so Chelsea should win.
City, West Brom.
City all the way. I don't think there's any discussion here. Slaven Bilic is struggling to keep this team together, losing last week 5-2 against Crystal Palace. This weekend wasn't so good for them either. So I don't think that they will stop Man City. I don't think they will.
Okay. Austin, we'll just get your thoughts briefly on the 2 games tonight before we go on a break.
Yeah, I think Wolves will push Chelsea all the way, but that's a game that Chelsea can win. I'm going by the form of Wolves. They were a fantastic team last season. They failed to pick up from where they stopped. They're 13th on the log after 12 games, and they've lost 5. Not really good for what we saw from Nuno's team last season. So Chelsea, if they put all the right things together, particularly having in mind how they lost that one against Everton, they can turn it around. No contest in Manchester City versus West Brom.
I love that. No contest.
Austin, you said the same thing for Fulham and Liverpool. Look what happened.
Okay, no contest. So hopefully no contest tonight. All right, we need to go on a short break. We'll be back after this.
It's really, really a really sad day, and I didn't know Gerard too well. I met a couple of times, but in this few moments, he created a relationship with me, which was really special. And so he's a true Liverpool legend, and he's a true coaching legend, if you want. So he was really influential in the game, and so great coach, but a human being with a really warm, will give you a really warm feeling when you were around him. And so, yeah, for all of us, it's a big loss and a really sad day. I know he had other clubs. He worked for other clubs, was successful with other clubs, but the way he described it, Liverpool was his club. His real club, where he felt probably still connected more than in any other clubs. And so he was really supportive from the first day, and a really, really nice and gentle person. And I miss him now already. And yeah, but the good thing, what you can say, maybe the only good thing you can say in the moment is he will never be forgotten here.
Obviously, he will never be forgotten. For Klopp to be talking about him, that's with 2001 when he won that treble with Liverpool. Austin, before we let you go, just your thoughts on this man. Everyone has been talking about him, the changes he actually brought to Liverpool, how he actually made them European champions. I
know, Cecilia, sad that we've lost Gerard Houllier. Can 2020 just leave? Heart complications. He's always been in and out of hospital, and finally he's gone. There's no way you can write about Liverpool's history that Gerard Houllier will not be part of it. I think he was there for 7 seasons, 1998 to about 2004, and it turned things around. And it turned things around for Liverpool, particularly. He will not be ignored when talking about the successful career of Steven Gerrard. Had played a very influential role in Steven Gerrard's rise to football. So we pray for his soul, that God will grant him eternal rest, and then and then I hope that his family, you know, bears this loss. Let's not also forget that he was one-time coach of the French national team, but unfortunately, that was when they couldn't qualify for USA 1994. He also has coaching stint with PSG, with Lens. He's a legend when talking about coaching in the game of football. So it's sad. I would pray to rest in peace.
Amen. Austin, okay, we'll just give you a breather now. Thank you so much for waking up early and, of course, making it today.
It's not that early. Come on.
Thank you so much, guys.
It's not that early, Austin. Come on. You're not in America or anything like that.
Okay. Come on. You know what it means.
There's just 1 hour difference, Cecilia. What do you mean?
Okay.
Let's,
it's cold.
Before we go on with the show, we've got a couple of tweets we have to take before we move on. Ayeni Abidemi, I've got your tweet here. You're saying, with the look of things, Chelsea will win against Atletico Madrid, but PSG is likely to lift the trophy. You're already predicting PSG as champions even before going past the round of 16. That's a no for you, Onome.
Okay, it's a no. Okay.
Michael, you're saying, after the draw yesterday, many people have said Barcelona are the underdogs going into the game against PSG, but I'm sure Barca will knock out PSG. Also, Leipzig will upset Liverpool. Wow, it's going for
bold predictions there. Very bold predictions, yeah.
All right, I'm going for Bosun.
Yeah, Bosun says, sticking with the young lads is the only way Arsenal can scale the Benfica hurdle. The regular team has only been able to score 2 goals in 2 months.
Wow.
Okay, I love that stats right there.
What do you make?
No, at some point, you'd have to bring in a more experienced lads, especially at the later stages. Yeah. There is no way you won't see Aubameyang and the likes starting in these games, despite what the young guys have done for the group stage. But you can't overwrite experience and the fact that these guys are more quality players than the young guys, so they have to come in. They will come in.
The definition of quality is when you're winning games. Okay, let's leave the Champions League because this is going to get us talking until February when we know the whole tournament will start. Okay, let's go to this. Okay, let's hear your thoughts on, Gerard Houllier. Just 30 seconds on that.
I think you could always draw similarities to him and Klopp for Liverpool because he ushered in a new era for the side.
True.
When he came in, the likes of Pauline McManaman had to leave, signed a few players who later came to be Liverpool icons, Hamann, Hyypiä, Henshaw and the rest. And he also was responsible for the young lads coming through, Michael Owen, Jamie Carragher, and also Steven Gerrard. Yeah. Same thing that Klopp is doing right now with Arnold, Curtis Jones, Nico Williams and the like. So you can understand why the club pay a lot of respect to him. And he's spending the longest time at a top flight club at Liverpool, 6 years. No other club did he spend 6 years except for when he was coaching 5th division in the 70s, New Le Mans, he spent 6 years there too. So I think you could understand why Liverpool fans and the board as a whole respect Gerard Houllier.
Yeah, and his smile alone, broad smile and all that.
I know typically when somebody passes away, you're likely to hear just good things about them. But I mean, this is one of those cases where it's real, like it's
real gentleman.
Yeah, real gentleman. Okay. Let's put it that way.
All right, let's leave that and come home. This is not good news. This is something that we didn't really want to hear, especially when it comes to the Women's League. Yes, it's not just them alone, but if you go to Osun State right now, the football clubs in the state are protesting non-payment of 3 months' salaries. And most of the players are saying, look, they want the Commissioner of Sports out of the state because, well, they are hungry.
Oh dear, come on.
Satil once more, for our football. Satil.
Yeah, really sad.
Okay, let's listen to the protesting players and we get the thoughts of Onome.
Of our salary and our salary deduction, sir. So we came here to report to Mr. Governor to help us intervene on this matter. Going to 3 months now, we have not been paid a dime. And some of us are a family as well. We have children at school and some of our children have been sent out of school.
We are here because of our salary. From 3 months ago, they owe us like what he said. But this is another one. Since October, November, December, now they even owe us our salary. But what we want is that they should help us to pay. They should pay us our money.
Want that first, the allowance is very, very small, which we know from other states. So the allowance is small. They should increase the contract coach. They should. I don't know the reason why they cannot employ them. So we are just suffering, which we are not happy. We want the state government, they should pay us our allowance first. Then they should employ the contract coach.
Apparently, they're tired, right? Men.
Yeah, they have to be tired.
I think we just ended there because sometimes you just look at this and you're asking yourself, are these the pictures, are these the stories you want to hear coming out of football?
This is even worse on the back of, for example, Oshun Babes.
Yeah.
They are a part of the Nigerian Women's Premiership.
The rebranded one.
Rebranded. And barely 1 week into the season, we're already having issues like this. So the question is, how did they even make it possible?
They got to win away from home initially. Now they play the next game. What is the mental state for them going into the next match? You know, how do you want them to go out there and play when their children can barely go to school and they can actually not feed as well as they should themselves? So you really can't expect them to perform well on the field of play. But I think on the flip side, we expect this to happen with football and sports in Nigeria when there's really not much money being generated from it as a whole. How much is the club making? How much are they made over the length of this period of time? The governments are always bankrolling all of this. So all of these issues we have to combat in football going forward so the players do not suffer and bear the brunt of all of these problems.
Spot on there. I think we'll just leave it there. Thank you so much, Onome, for taking our time to join us again. Hopefully we'll see you more time, right?
Great comeback.
Before the end of the year. Great comeback. Thank you. All right. Thank you guys for watching. I'm Cecilia Mogbe. Have a great day.
I am Taya Salam. See you again tomorrow.